Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon,
And I'm Mom.
and thank you so much for joining us here today.
Yep, thank you for watching again.
Yeah, and Mom, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Brandon, how are you doing?
All is well here.
That sounds wonderful.
Well, Mom, I know that we are excited to dive into today's discussion.
Yes, we are going to talk about another adventure series. And this time we're going to talk about True Lies.
Yes, and this is the TV show and not the movie.
Yes, this is the 2023 TV show. All right. So, Brandon, I'm going to tell you just a little bit about this show. This is about Harry Tasker, who is an undercover spy. However, his family is not aware that he is a spy. And so we are looking at the adventures of Harry as he is in the spy world. But at the same time, even though his family did not initially know, his wife does find out, and so the adventures begin when his wife finds out that he is a spy.
Well, Mom, thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, Brandon.
And Mom, overall, what do you think about this pilot episode here?
Actually, I love this pilot episode. There's so many reasons why. First of all, it was only 1 hour, which I think is great for an adventure series. We are finding that most of the adventure series that we watch, the pilots itself is about 1.5, hours or so, and which seems like that extra half hour shouldn't make a difference, but it does make a difference when you're watching. You have to see things kind of more than once, and so I like that the first episode was an hour. I thought they did a great job of, explaining everything. They gave the backstory for Harry. They were able to incorporate his whole family, his wife specifically, because of course she realizes that her husband is a spy halfway through. And so I just thought they did a nice job, and it's very lighthearted in the sense that it is actually funny to watch. It is not graphic. It's just a nice kind of wholesome series for a spy series.
Yeah, I fully agree. I definitely love that it's able to combine those that spy and action portions of the series alongside to me being a family show. I mean, even though we may not see all the family all at once at the same time, is that they go to lengths to emphasize that this is about the family and specifically the couple of Harry and Helen.
Yes, they do. They do. And Brandon, I know, just so the audience know, we did watch all of 13 episodes when they did come on. And I thought for the most part it was a memorable series. It was, even though I don't remember everything, it stood out enough for us.
Yes, it definitely did. And just as a little behind the scenes tidbit as well, is when we had first started doing these TV discussions in 2023, is that we were actually looking to have this as one of our first discussions, but unfortunately, timing didn't quite work out since the series was canceled shortly after we had made our discussions.
Yes, and so when we knew we were going to do the Action Adventure Month again, this is one of the first shows. I think this is one of your suggestions, Brandon. So I'm so glad you made that suggestion.
Yes, it definitely was my suggestion, and thankfully, you can now find the episodes for purchase on Amazon Prime since it wasn't unfortunately available. For a little while after the series ended.
Yes, yes. And one of the things I like about this series is that it actually had an initiating point. That's something we talk about all the time. Some series do have and some don't. This one had a true defined initiating point because it really is when Harry's wife Helen, when she actually followed him on quote unquote vacation, and then realized that something else was quite going on with everything. Since they were kidnapped and all.
Small technicality.
So, yeah, small technicality. Oh, Brandon, and one of the things that I do like about the series, it reminds me of a show that we were watching previously. Do you know what that show is, Brandon?
What show was that, Mom?
It's actually Scarecrow and Mrs. King. I like that it to me it parallels a lot to Scarecrow and Mrs. King in regards to the spy that kind of appears. And then we have, of course, with Mrs. King, she was brought into the world, kind of like Helen's brought into the world. And Mrs. King underwent training to be a spy. And then Helen undergoes training also. But Helen kind of she's got one up on Mrs. King because she knew multiple languages, and she does kickboxing or some sort of fighting on the side. But yes, so I like that it kind of compares to that because Scarecrow and Mrs. King is one of my favorite spy shows.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And we were just speaking about this before, we had hit record, but something that I think it does really well, in parallel to Scarecrow and Mrs. King, is that both of them emphasize that it is about the family. In Scarecrow and Mrs. King, they oftentimes speak about Mrs. King's children, Philip and Jamie, but we don't always see them. Whereas in this pilot episode of True Lies, we do see intermittent, appearances, so to speak, of the children throughout different scenes. While there may not be as much per se, while the story may not necessarily be about them specifically, is that the show makes sure that they are included, and so I see that parallel as well.
Yes, very true, Brandon. Very true. And then, Brandon, we have some connections with this show.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive into them. Did you want me to go first?
Yes, please go first, Brandon.
Yeah, so you were mentioning earlier that, of course, Harry and Helen were kidnapped, and they were kidnapped by none other than.
They were kidnapped by Sidwell. For all our General Hospital fans, we found Sidwell.
Yeah, so the kidnapper here is played by the same actor that plays Jen Sidwell on General Hospital, and so it's always great to see him, and I think he always does a great job in whatever role he's in. Usually pretty similar ones.
Yeah, yeah, he does do a great job. And then what's our other connection, Brandon?
Oh, yeah, and our other connection is with Steve Howey that plays Harry Tasker.
Yes, we know him from Reba.
Yes, and so it was really nice to see him in another series in a very different role, but I still love the sort of quirks that the actor is able to show in his various characters.
Yeah, I mean, even though it is a different even though it is a different role, he is still, like you said, very quirky. So so it was really nice to see, especially see him as an actor, knowing that is 20 plus years since Reba's been on.
Yes, and so it's definitely quite interesting to. I mean, to see the series, and so it's a fun fact. I had first found out about the series from a Facebook ad, that repeatedly showed up on my feed. I believe about 4 episodes in, and I'm so glad that we tuned into the series, even if it was late. I'm pretty sure that we've seen all 13 episodes. And Mom, the question is, would you watch the other 12 again?
Actually, Brandon, I probably would watch the other 12 again. I wouldn't have a problem doing that at all.
Likewise, I definitely really enjoyed watching this. And did you remember, the overall gist of this first episode?
I did. Once I started watching it again, I did remember the gist of the first episode. So it is, to me, it's memorable for those people who are watching. And then, Brandon, something I think we need to tell our audience also is that neither one of us have seen True Lies, the true movie. And so that's one of the things that I'm interested to see. And we'll have to see if we decide to do this, is to kind of look at the movie to see if there are any similarities between the movie itself and the TV show.
Yes, we have never seen it, and the movie True Lies itself is based off another movie.
Oh, it is? What movie is that based off of?
So it's based off of a French movie with an overall similar premise, and so I think it'd be quite interesting to see, overall like how the two movies and the TV show compare with each other.
Mhm. Yeah, that would be interesting. One of the other things I like, besides Harry and his wife, was I like the side characters who actually play along with Harry, meaning his coworker Gleb and his other two coworkers. I thought they worked really well together on camera, and so I liked that.
Yeah, I definitely really like the different coworkers such as Lufer, Maria, and Gib, and I definitely enjoyed them. And I believe, from my recollection, is that throughout the rest of the series, is that while we focus more on Gib as the friend, so to speak, is we still do keep the others around, and I like that we're able to see sort of like the whole basis of the operation, and that we get to characterize these different characters and explore the world.
Yep, yeah, same here, Brandon. Same here. All right, Brandon. It's been really nice speaking about this today.
Yeah, it really has. And Mom, one thing I had just found out in going through the doing some research a little bit before discussion, is about one of the recurring characters that's introduced later.
Oh, who's this?
Okay, so this recurring character, the actress, is, I'm going to see if you can guess it, is Jacqueline Grace Lopez.
Keep going, Brad.
So yeah, so she plays Blaze on General Hospital.
Oh, okay. I didn't know her real name, so wow. I'll have to go back later to watch that. So we got two General Hospital characters on here. And Brent, I didn't rate this. Typically, as I've been saying, I've been rating these shows 1 through 5, 5 being the highest. I would give this one a strong 4.
Yeah, I fully agree with you, Mom. I really enjoyed the show, and I really wish it would have continued.
Yep, same here, Brandon. All right, so we thank everybody for watching today.
And we look forward to seeing you again next time.
All right, have a great day, everybody.
We'll see you then.